And continuing with, kind of showcasing some of the tools that we're using, I wanted to do an unboxing and a little initial review of this Thunderbay Earth Auger. This was a combo kit. It's a 43cc 2-cycle. It comes with an 8-inch auger. I picked this up at Lowe's. I was actually looking at like the Harbor Freight one, and they didn't have any stock, and impulsively I just went and bought one at Lowe's that same day because I was going to buy the Harbor Freight one. They didn't have it, so we're going to check out this one for Lowe's. So we're going to open this up and just see what we've got in it. And we actually have some holes that we're going to dig that we need for putting up the fence around our garden, which you see behind us. Okay, so standard packaging, stop, do not return to store. That's also looks like the manual. Foam, power head, auger. Looks like this came with a little tool kit. Looks to put this together, and I think I can't hardly get it out. I think it has the bit, the tip of the bit. So that's nice. I mean, they pretty much give you everything we need to put this together. And I bet we can have this running here in just 2 or 3 minutes. More than 2 or 3 minutes. The only thing we're probably going to struggle with just a little bit is how are we going to store this? I don't have a mount yet. Like I said, impulse buy. Sprocket, or you know what that is. I know what that is. I just can't think of what that is called. Spark plug wrench. I don't know why that was so hard for me to remember, considering like 30 minutes ago the spark plug rattled loose out of my lawnmower. I don't know how I managed to screw that up so bad. Okay, so I didn't really look, but guessing this just has deer fly. Hey, it's got a cap over that. And there you go. Now, I read online, and I haven't validated that, but I believe well, awesome. So this says completely fill tank with mixture of 50-to-1 fresh gasoline and 2-cycle engine oil. I read online for the product of this that it was 40-to-1. I actually bought a 40-to-1 mixture. Now, why I'm actually not that mad is that everything else that I run here, every other 2-cycle product that I run here is 50-to-1. So that actually, I'm annoyed because I bought that 40-to-1, I was talking forever just a minute ago, and I wasn't in frame and the microphone wasn't on. So I put this bolt through, and what I was saying was that I had purchased a 40-to-1 mixture because I looked online prior to buying this to see what fuel I was going to need for it. And so I went ahead and bought a 40-to-1 little can of that stuff that they sell at Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot. And to be honest, I felt a little like less of a man for buying pre-mixed gas and like expensive pre-mixed gas. But everything that I have is 50-to-1, except for this. This would have been the only thing I had that was 40-to-1. And then looking right here, this says, hey, completely filled tank with mixture of 50-to-1 fresh gas and 2-cycle engine oil. So guess what? It's 50-to-1. Now I'm frustrated only because I'd already bought that 40-to-1, but we'll figure out something to do with it. It's like a anti-theft thing here. 2 of them. Is this a high theft item? Are people stealing augers that frequently? Does anyone know? I don't. I feel like this, it's not heavy, but it's not light. Like, that box is decent size. I can't believe someone just walks out the door of a home improvement store with an auger that frequently. And they're not that terribly priced. Well, they're not priced terribly bad for a fat kid who doesn't want to dig holes by hand. All right. I would read that to you in Spanish, but I can't speak Spanish very well. Thunderbay, quick start. It's a quick start on-off switch. All right, completely filled tank with mixture of 50-to-1 fresh gas and 2-cycle engine oil. Squeeze primer bulb several times until the gas is visible inside primer bulb. Ensure power switch is on. So there's a power switch here on the actual throttle, and it is clearly labeled on off. Engage choke. Choke is here on the carburetor right off the fuel tank, and it is clearly labeled run or choke. So very simple switch there. Engage choke for initial 2 pulls, then disengage choke. Engage throttle when pulling starter handle. Once engine starts, move choke run to switch. If engine does not start in 5 pulls, wait 5 minutes and repeat, because you probably flooded out the motor. Now I have to go get Sharpie and oh look, it's empty. I'm gonna go get some fuel and get this filled up. Then we'll reposition the camera onto where we're gonna drill our first hole and see if we can't get this thing started up for the first time. Okay, so the instructions were to run the priming bulb until there's fuel in there, choke on, power on, and 2 pulls. At that point, set to turn to run mode. Okay. Okay, well, that was something. So we have dirt-wise like 6 to 8 inches. I'm winded. We have like 6 to 8 inches of just topsoil or just dirt, and then it gets into clay. And real interesting about that thing is that it wanted to just like boom and go straight to the core of the earth, but then it would like bog itself out because it was in that clay and it was kind of wet. I'm gonna catch my breath. Alright, so I went ahead and got the regular post hole diggers just to clean up a little bit of anything that fell down in there. Okay, so initial impressions, I mean, it's a brand new machine, so, you know, taking a second extra pull or two to get started, that's not a problem. But that thing really, it really sunk. And when I went to pull, like, I could feel it in my shoulder. I don't know if it was from fighting. I have to go back and watch the video, but I don't know if it was from his fighting. I mean, initial impression is like, hey, that went really fast, but it still took a good amount of energy. To do it over again, if, in my scenario, in my situation where, you know, we could hook it on the back of one of our tractors or buy, you know, a 3-point, I seriously might have wished I would have went that route. However, we didn't. I went with a handheld single auger. we're gonna run some more holes here, but it should be a situation where it's on. And it's start to go. I mean, we saw that pull on, start to go. I'm gonna grab a pole. Actually, let's just do this. It's like right around 29, 30 inches. We could probably get that deeper if we wanted to. Maybe not too much deeper, maybe an inch. You might, if you really worked at it, you might get to 32. Let's grab a pole. I'm gonna grab a post and set it down in here just to see how it looks. I'm pretty happy with this right now. Now I've got 5 more to put in. That one really sucked the wind out of me. That's the only thing I'll say about it. Like, it really, God, I'm still winded. I know I'm out of shape. I know I don't work out or exercise, so keep these things in mind. If you're an outdoor guy, you work outside, you work in a craft, you're doing physical work, this thing probably, you wouldn't even flinch. I sit, my 9 to 5 is behind a computer desk, so when I get out to do this kind of stuff, I'm not as active. It took a little bit of wind out of me to get that done, but everything else being equal, it started easy. It's 50 to 1. Maybe a little underpowered for an 8-inch auger. I mean, you saw it bog down a little bit. This ground isn't super wet, but it's not super dry either. I mean, you could see when we got into that clay, it bogged down. I mean, I'm in Indiana, so we've got topsoil and then clay underneath that. So that's, you know, something to keep in mind. I don't know how this would do in a more heavy clay or pure clay. I don't know how this would do in red dirt down in the south, but this is for here, and you saw it. So let's I'm gonna set up another run of this videotape to see if it's any different as far as setting up or running running this auger. Switch on. This is already warm. They said to give it some throttle. It fired right up. So the second hole, actually I felt like that was a little bit easier. We did catch a rock. It wasn't a very big rock, but that kept hitting that rock, and you saw it kind of get jammed. I had to kind of rock it back and forth to get underneath that rock and get it up. But there it is. Got around that, still down in that 30-inch range for my pole that's going to go in there. And this is just for some very light fencing, actually mostly just chicken wire to go around our garden to keep rabbits and mostly keep the deer out. I'm still a little winded. If you actually follow my channel, I'm always winded, so that's nothing to really base this review on. I like it so far. I mean, it's a little beastly. It's a little heavy. It's not unmanageable. Every day of the week, it's better than running stick post hole diggers, manual ones. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, like it's way better than just manually digging these holes. If you want to watch and see more of my reviews and things that we're doing on We Farm with Junk, check out my channel. There's a lot of farming stuff going on there. A lot of this garden, what I'm working here, this review, I'm gonna incorporate into that video of our garden for today. So go and check that out. Subscribe to it if you like what we're doing. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video and what we're doing. If you have any additional questions, let me know, and thanks. Have a good rest of your day.